everybody. I want to welcome you to our SHAC meeting. We're going to get started. So, make sure I can see everybody. We do have Marissa on Google Meet, so she is here via Google Meet. Y'all say hi to Marissa.
Hi, Marissa.
So the first thing that we need to do is look at the minutes from our meeting in December. So it is on the back of the agenda. So if I could have you all look over that, and then somebody let me know when we are ready to accept those.
Accept them.
Thank you, Ms. Carroll. Do I have a second?
I will second that motion.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. She's so sweet. Thank you, though. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is nurse updates. So I'm going to let Kara start with elementary. It's been a
roller coaster.
busy January.
Not really a whole lot of updating, but what we have been seeing for probably 3 weeks now, a month, whole bunch of flu, a lot of respiratory illnesses. We did in December go over with the kids hand washing, cough etiquette, and the teachers are really reinforcing this too. And they're doing very well with wiping things down after the kids, but unfortunately, it's just been really, really bad. But they're doing everything they can do. We're doing everything we can do to keep the kids healthy. I think now we might be on the up and up end of it, hopefully, because, I mean, our numbers are looking a lot better, I think, than what we have been looking.
I talked to Miss Buffy and Miss Brandy this morning, and yesterday and today, our absences are less than half of what they've been in the past couple of weeks. So we are very much,
we're trying to get over that hill.
I think on the downside of this. What we saw with the flu when we first got here in January, it was more gastrointestinal problems with fever. And then it switched about a week and a half in and went more respiratory, sore throat with the fever. And we've heard from some clinics that people that had flu A, which is the respiratory sore throat, are now coming back with flu B, which is more gastro. But I'm hoping and praying that that already hit us, because that's what we started with. That's what we had when we first came in January. So as far as what we're doing to try to combat it, pump in, pump out like at the hospital. That's what we're preaching to the kids. There's hand sanitizer in every room. Of course, we can't make them, but we always encourage them. Hand sanitize coming in, coming out. We've got disinfectant spray machines that our custodial staff is using on the buses and in the classrooms at night. I did have some kids in my class yesterday trying to get out of school, but they were asking me questions like, well, what's the number that we have to reach so that we shut school down? And I was like, okay, well, let's talk about this. I was like, the number has more to do with being able to staff and take care of things. I was like, but y'all have been through infection control. We've talked about it. We can clean everything, but one person comes in and they're contagious, and they're contagious for 24 hours before they ever show the first symptoms. And then we've just reinfected everything. So what you need to do is protect yourself. Hand washing. CDC says hand washing is the best thing you could do. But I asked them, I was like, if we did shut down the school, how many of y'all would stay home and not get around anybody? And they just looked at me like I was an idiot. And I was like, so it's not going to help anything. They said, well, would we have to make the days up? I said, absolutely. You would lose your spring break. So, but we are on the, I feel like we're coming across on the other side of it. Does anybody have any questions about the flu, what we're doing, what you've seen? Dr. Seegers, I know you got a mouthful.
No, we've really worked with the custodial staff and their cleaning routines to make sure that every day we're wiping, disinfecting. Our buses are being done every day. And so really trying to make sure we're doing everything from the mechanical side that will promote promote healthy classroom, you know what I'm saying? So really what we've said is all the strategies that we did during COVID, we're trying to make sure we're bringing those, we're utilizing those daily, because that's one thing COVID did teach us was, if we do these pieces right, we minimize the spread of sickness, so.
But I will tell you, this season of flu it's been the worst that I've seen since the swine flu. It's not just a day or two. These kids are sick. They are very sick, and it's lasting a lot longer. I mean, they're sick for a week. So I literally haven't seen it this bad since when the swine flu came.
It's not just the schools. I'm in the nursing homes all across the area. It's the elderly. It's wiping them down. It's the hospital.
It's everywhere. This has been one of the roughest. So this is one of the roughest seasons you've seen too. That's
pneumonia, and it's turning into pneumonia really quickly.
I was about to say with our kids, and if you have kids, something that if you continue seeing your kid being sick, there's been a little underlying issues as well, or secondary issues, pneumonia, RSV, bronchitis. So if you see your kid not getting well after so long, you may need another checkup, just make sure something else hasn't snuck in after they've been so sick.
because they have been very, very sick this year. But I think we're
I hope so.
coming out of it. February is American Heart Month, and so for our staff, we've got a 60-mile challenge. We tell them they can walk, jog, bike, or even crawl 60 miles to get through February, just to raise awareness because it is American Heart Month. And on a personal note, I sent this out to the staff yesterday, but if you happen to pick up the Four States Living magazine this month, my sister-in-law is actually on the cover of it. She underwent open heart surgery this fall at 48 years old. She's extremely healthy. Like, you would not have expected that she would need 5 bypasses. And so they actually did a story on her. So if you happen to pick up the Four States Living magazine, that's my sister-in-law, Janie, that's on the cover of it for American Heart Month. And speaking of Heart Month, we also teach our students hands-only CPR. So that's a requirement that they have to have some sort of CPR before they graduate. We teach it in the 7th grade, hands-only CPR, to teach them, if nothing else, do the compressions, pump, call 911, and get an AED there. So I teach that in 7th grade and make sure that by the time they graduate, that they've had it if they happen to be absent that day. My classes actually go through CPR, and so I know Emily and Hannah just got finished with CPR. We did first aid and adult, child, and infant CPR with them. Gavin and Amy have had it. Brock has not. Brock's had hands-only CPR, but not the CPR in my class. But so we do feel like it's very important. Because we are, what I tell the kids and our staff, we are a long way from the ambulance getting here. And as my classes learned this week, 2 minutes of CPR is exhausting. And 2 minutes lasts a lot longer than you think it does when you're doing compressions. So the more people that know, the better off that our community is. And we do have a lot of AEDs on campus. We have 11 AEDs on campus. Something else that I wanted to bring up with y'all that we talked about at the last meeting was the LifeVac systems. We have ordered these. They are actually with every AED, and they are also in every building with a bleed kit. I'm still waiting on bleed kits for the elementary gym. And for the ag building itself, there is one in the band hall, but I got another set for the ag side so that they would have their own. We had an incident at school where we had a student choke. This was not needed. It was on order. They were not here, but we had a teacher that performed Heimlich and saved this student, because it could have been very ugly. But these were actually on order. But I wanted to show y'all kind of how these work. So,
If you don't mind, let me say something on that too, while you set up. That was one of those days we never want to happen. But literally from the time the call came into the office, and in less than 30 seconds, they had staff either in the classroom or on their way.
Oh, it was in
And the
class.
ambulance was already called. And so, I just want to commend our staff, you know, for something that could have been really bad, you know, all the procedures that have to happen for getting that next level of care happened in less than like 30 seconds. And then, you know, of course, then chief called them off but we were able to initiate that response, which for me was a big piece, because you always want to make sure that all the procedures fall in line quickly. And in that instant, it did. So I was really proud of our staff and the way they pitched together to protect our kids and, you know, maintain safety at all times.
Because it was definitely a
It was
community
scary.
effort. Because I was in class and somebody was running to my class. Miss Harrell was already there by the time I got there.
Coach Turner there. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
that there for you guys.
So the students figured out that we can run.
Afterwards,
We'll remind Ms. Harold, you go to the same place for line as you stay.
But it was a very successful thing, and I think I attribute that to our staff and the training that they go through. They pay attention to it, and they kicked in just like that.
well, and Lisa, if you don't mind, I want to attribute that to you two, because the training that y'all do for us, every staff member that's had to deal with something like that always says it's like it kicks in immediately, and it does. Coach Turner could tell you immediately when that call came through from the staff member, it was just immediate. So thank you to both of you guys.
Very welcome. Okay. All right. So the way this works, the LifeVac system. This is if they get to the point where they become unconscious and they can't talk anymore or can't be there with you doing the Heimlich. This is, you know, we're going to the next step. We have an adult mask that comes with it and a pediatric mask that comes with each one of them. And so the way this works is you literally just push it in, and when you press down, the air will escape out this side, so that when you pull it back up, it sucks up through this way. So hopefully you can kind of see it here. You press down, and then when you pop it up, you can see that it's suction, and it's going to pull it up out. That's the idea. So we've got the adult mask and the pediatric mask. This is what our kits look like that are hanging on the wall. So when you leave here, it's actually the one here. It looks like this, and then we've got a Stop the Bleed kit that's right beside it. So our goal is to every building. The only building that I can think of off the top of my head is the building that Mr. Caraway is in with all of the
IT building.
IT computer building.
Don't worry, if he's choking, there's nobody out there with him, he'll die.
That's not what we want.
So much for that.
You can save yourself. And then the portable building at the elementary. I know it used to be storage, but I'm really not sure if it's still storage or if they do they have classes in that portable building anymore. ISS is out there, so we can get something for out there as well, so that there is something in every building, and that's my goal. But this is what they look like. So I will pass this around if y'all want to, so that you can just kind of get a feel for it. We'll go that way.
You said these are one-time use, right?
They are one-time use simply for hygiene purposes. So we technically could get more masks and stuff, but we've got so many. I didn't want 2 kids to be choking at the same time and there only be one on campus.
But if you had something like that, like at your house,
You could use it, absolutely, absolutely. So the one-time use is hygiene for
Yeah,
public,
that makes sense.
public scenario here. Oh, yeah, it is. So thank you all for suggesting that we do that. We have them in place, and we have them all over the campus. And I think that's all that I have as far as nursing updates. The next thing that we have is Ms. Hudgens for student support, just to kind of let us know student council and the student body has been up to?
Well, February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and right after Christmas, we had Trinity come back from the Child Advocacy Center to do the second half of her presentation, and a lot of it was on dating violence, on grooming for trafficking. And one thing that really stuck out in my mind, I hope it did in the students as well, is she related it. She did a thing on a cup of tea. Y'all remember that? Do you want some tea? Just because you said you wanted tea today does not mean you wanted tea the next day. When I'm pouring the tea, you said, oh, I want tea. And you're pouring the tea, you can change your mind and say, oh, I changed my mind, I don't want to have tea. So she broke it down like that to really explain no is no. No matter if you said yes one day, it can be no the next day. It's not an open invitation. You can be in the midst of things and somebody can say, hey. And she did boys and girls. She didn't just, put it on the boys as well. For boys, it's no. And so I like the way that she did that when she broke it down into the tea scenario. It really hit home. So we did get on that early. She books up very quickly, and so we did that well before Christmas to get her. So we'd be sure and have her before February rolled around. So, and right now, student council, and we're doing an elementary student council and junior high as well. We have Kindness Week next week, which focuses on the mental health of all the students because everybody is involved. Valentine's, when I taught elementary, I love Valentine's because it's the one time everybody's going to get a Valentine card. Everybody's going to get a card. You don't have to worry about, oh, my best friend got me a teddy bear, or everybody's going home with Valentine cards from everybody in their classroom. So I really did love Valentine's as an elementary teacher. So next week is Kindness Week, and there's things every day that one day is like give a compliment. One is do a good deed. One we're going to have a little fun with everybody with a little rock, paper, scissors action for people who want to participate. No, he's not. But we had things like that. And then on Friday, it's called the Love and Laughter Bash. And it's just today we're going to have a flower bar that the kids can make a flower for a friend. It's about friendship, not just Valentine's Day. Everybody always thinks about your spouse, and it can just be about your friends. You love your friends, you love your classmates, you love your teacher. So we have a flower bar, we have a photo booth, we have a snack table, games, cakewalk, all kinds of things actually. It's going to be for high school and for junior high. And then elementary will do the whole Kindness Week and then the rock, paper, scissors game on Tuesday. And of course they'll have their parties on Friday. But so it's just going to be really focused on the mental aspect of it. This is one holiday. It's about everybody. It's not just about your spouse. So it can be about everybody. So that's kind of been our focus since we came back and getting ready for our spring forum.
Okay, thank you. The next thing was the emergency supplies update. I kind of already did that, talking about the life back, and just letting y'all know that those did come in. We've got them put up, and there's a couple more places that I'm working on so that it's in every building, the life back system and the Stop the Bleed. The Stop the Bleed kits are on back order, the 2 extra that I'd ordered for the elementary gym and the ag shop. So those are on back order. But we do have Stop the Bleed kits in every other building. There's one at the 3 to 5, there's one in here, and there's one in the band hall that are close to those areas. Any other questions about like our emergency supplies and what we have and where we have it, locations? Okay, Coach Turner?
Alright, so Nurse Lisa kind of told me that throughout the years we've had some questions about, or throughout this past year we've had some questions about our physical education requirements and whatnot. There is so there's no longer what used to be the old fitness cram, but there is something very similar to it. And basically what it is, and there's, I guess here's kind of what the difference is there's some options to it. So you can walk a mile, you can run a mile, you can jog a mile. There may be even something else you can do, and then there's some other stretches and whatnot. When I was coming through as a kid, we did what was called the Presidential Fitness Test. I don't know if any of y'all remember that or not. Just had to do some pull-ups, flex arm hang and stuff like that. So that's kind of out now, but we still do some of the push-ups and stuff like that. I'll be honest with you, last year was kind of there was a lot going on at that time last year when when this is done in the spring normally.
The back gate is non-closing.
That gate is not closed. So it's something that we'll get on. Obviously, it's really big in our elementaries, because they run miles and whatnot. The other thing is that it only actually is kids that are in some type of a PE class, so athletics or really band. That's all that we really have right now. That's a PE credit. Isn't that right? Yeah. So only kids that are in band and athletics would be the ones that actually go through the fitness test. Your general pop does not. That's kind of where we're at on that as far as what you'd like to see. But and what it is it's a mile run walk. I could even bike the thing. There really is. There's a bunch of different things. You have to do some flexibility things, push-ups, sit-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, and there's another stretch in there too. So that's kind of what it is and what we do with it.
So is this stuff that, like, you do it at the beginning of the year and they have to improve by the end of the year, or is it just see where they're at?
So the state of Texas, if you want to know the truth, it's just a big database. It's really nothing. It's really not anything that we check or anything like that. It's just they want it down. It's kind of like that was kind of the problem with the fitness gram. It was the same thing. Everybody had to do it. Nothing was ever done with the numbers. So
At the state level.
yeah, I mean we all did it, and then it just kind of went away. But yes, we still have it. And I gotta see if I can come up with it. Chiquita sends it to me every year. She sent it to me the other day, actually.
Coach Turner, what age is it where the kids get to elect into PE or out? Is it 6th grade?
So in 6th grade, we pretty much all kids go through what we call pre-athletics. Now, what I'll tell you is that's really a PE class.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really. We do some sports and stuff in there, but it really is a PE class. In 7th grade, we start to here and there. We'll start to kind of do that, but really their freshman year is the first time that they opt in or out of a PE class, and even then, they still have to have one full year of a PE credit.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of things
You can get that
that.
through band and different
Right.
things, but you have to have 2 in middle school, so we do all 3.
Right.
And then we do 1 in high school,
Okay.
and that's required by the state.
So really, it's up until high school,
It
and
really
then they have
is.
1 year.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
This testing that you're talking about, this is separate from like the athletic end of the year testing for like football and.
Yes. Yeah, it's not going to be a weight. We do most of that testing is weight room type specific and sprint specific. This is more of a cardiovascular and really a, just a general overall thing. And again, I don't remember what it's called. I was going to look it up, see what Chiquita sent to me the other day.
Y'all, I get confused when Malachi tells me this. What is the schedule for PE again every week? I know it alternates with music and tech, right? Is that right? Okay. Those 3. Was there another one that alternates?
There was one, art.
Okay. That was last year, right? Okay. See, I'm telling you, I try to keep up. I'm like, did you have PE today? He loves PE, and I feel like it's like, he alternates what he says. So, cool. And is that all that's required? Is 2 or 3 hours a week? And then how long is it? Is it like a full hour? Is it 30 minutes?
It's 135 minutes a week.
Okay, that's all that the state requires. That's why we have so many unhealthy kids right there.
And
I'm
recess is actually
That counts.
included in
Which
that.
we have so much recess, I feel like, compared to like PG. I think they're down to 1 a day for elementary, like right after lunch, and I feel like they're always saying they're get extra time, or if we have an extra 15 minutes or something, they'll let them go out, and I love that. So that's good, that's extra exercise.
Because we've got 2 recesses in my,
Yes, and then in the afternoons, they can go out too, so,
sometimes.
yeah. So that's great, I love that. Well, cool, good to know.
Any other questions for Coach Turner? Or- Thank you, Coach
Okay,
Turner.
thank you.
Okay, the next thing on our list is, at our last meeting, we talked about the pediatric mobile asthma clinic money that we got, and it was $787, I think. Yes, $787.04. And so I sent out a notice in December and a couple of times in January, giving them till last Friday for applications for a grant. And we had one turned in from our student council. So I'm going to let Emily and Hannah talk about this.
Well, it's really Emily.
Really, Emily, I'm sorry, Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah's great.
I was the one that
She did.
wrote it.
Emily did the grant.
Okay, so Emily wrote the grant, so I'm gonna let Emily talk about the grant and what they're asking for.
So I wrote a grant to get money to fund the Valentine's Day bash that we're doing, and we opted for $355.78. Most of the items do not include tax. The food we will have tax free, but the Stanleys and the gift cards probably not. The rest of it we signed up for because it helps with the mental health of kids who are excluded from usual like Valentine's Day festivities. This will be included for 6th through 12th, and all the things will be purchased with the money if we are awarded it from February 3rd to the 7th. Other than that, if you have any questions.
That's great.
Tell us what the bash is going to look like, Emily.
We're gonna have tables with the flowers that kids can come up and give to their teachers, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend. We're gonna have treats and games, and then all this. Yes, the food will be made by the classes. Then just Miss Hudgens will hide a Hershey Kiss, like a paper one, for high school tutorials, and then middle school tutorials, which is our lunch. And we will be awarded a gift card if found. And then the 2 Stanley Cups are for the, what game is it? The guessing game. You guess how many Hershey Kisses are in the jar. So there will be something for everybody.
So this is a way to make it where everybody's included and it's not just a couple day.
Yes.
To everybody day.
Yes.
Y'all have any questions for Emily? Well, they were the only group to turn in a application for the grant. So I'd like to make a motion that we give them the money up to $400, because she mentioned that there may be some tax issues. So I'd like to give them up to $400 to spend for their bash. Do I have a second?
Second.
And all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You've got money for a bash. Good job, Emily. Good job, guys. Okay. Do we have anything else that, sorry, I'm writing down. Any open discussion, anything that anybody wants to address or talk about? No. Okay, well, we need to schedule our next meeting. Let me grab a calendar here. Let's see. So this is February 4th. Amanda, when is
Tuesdays typically.
Uh-huh.
So April the 15th is not a good day, and April the 29th is not a good day.
Okay.
Tuesdays.
In April 8th, we're on spring break, right? Or is that no, that's the
No,
week
it's-
before. That's the week before. So is there anything going on April 22nd that we know of? Dr. Seegers, do you see anything?
Just baseball. Don't see anything else.
Don't see anything? Is everybody okay with Tuesday, April 22nd? Is April 22nd a Tuesday? Make sure. Yes, okay.
I can't, but I'm okay, if you still make quorum, I'm okay with checking in later.
Okay,
Yeah, I have to leave something,
okay.
but it is also Earth Day, so that'd be kind of fun.
Oh, if it's Earth Day, is student council gonna have something going on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we do not want to do that. Okay. What about April the 8th, the Tuesday we get back from spring break? Is that, there's nothing? Is there anything, a problem with April the 8th? Because I'm worried if the further back we go, the more testing and the more things that we're gonna have come up. Okay, so April 8th at 12:30, which is still a Tuesday, will be our next meeting. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
And a second? Second. Okay. All in favor?